turning back towards LaGuardia.
You want to try to land runway 13?
We're unable. We may end up in the Hudson.
Cactus 1529, turn right 280. You can land runway 1 at Teterboro.
We can't do it.
Okay, which runway would you like at Teterboro?
We're going to be in the Hudson.
And then over the PA system said, "This is the captain. Brace for impact."
Cactus 15.
It's early afternoon, January 15th, 2009. And I've just stepped aboard U.S. Airways, Flight 1549, that's scheduled to fly from New York's LaGuardia Airport to Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, as we back away from the gate, I realized that no one has ever come to sit in our empty middle seat. I literally looked at my seatmate and I said, well, this must be our lucky day. At an altitude of about 3,000 feet, so we're still very much in that vertical climb, we hear this boom. I got prepared for the very worst. But fortunately, the worst didn't happen that day, because Captain Sullenberger and First Officer Skiles, they made a textbook landing on the Hudson River. And part of that landing required that they bring the tail of the airplane down first and hit the water at about 160 miles an hour. Well, I had the good fortune of sitting in the tail of the airplane. This is the point where I experienced my scariest moment, even scarier than before we landed in the river, because in a matter of seconds, the water went from my ankles to above my chest. Now, the first words I said, I did not remember saying until I met my seatmate about 9 months later. He said, I popped my head up, I looked at him, and I said, open that window.
Joining us now in New York is survivor Vallie Collins.
We're joined now by Vallie Collins.
And the flight attendant said, we're in the water to the wings. And she looked at me and said, you have 2 minutes. And so I just started going, people are still coming backwards. And I just said, to the wings, turn around, we can't get out this way. And just kept pushing. Selfishly, I was not being a hero, I just wanted out. Yeah, right. We were male, we were female. We were corporate CEOs, and we were housewives. We were Buddhists, we were Muslims, we were Christians, and we were atheists. We came from all walks of life. And after the experience, most of us were interviewed, and we were asked, so what was going through your mind in the 3.5 minutes, which is the time from when the birds knocked out both our engines till the time we landed on the Hudson River? There was the one group that reported that their life sort of flashed before their eyes. And then there was the other group, which happens to be the group that I fell into, that were thinking about all the things we were going to miss. I'm not going to be the mother of the bride. I won't see my youngest son hit his first home run. Who's gonna plan their birthday parties? As crazy and as hokey as this may sound, I had this peace, I had this calm come over me, and I instinctively knew that panicking was not gonna save my life. I knew I had to get off that airplane. But I stepped out onto that icy wing, and I remember having two really clear, distinct thoughts. And the first thought came when I looked to my left, and about 400 yards in the distance, I could see the first ferry boat approaching. It was the New York Waterway's Thomas Jefferson. And as they say, she was coming full steam ahead. And I saw that boat approaching and I thought, I'm not dying today. Today's not gonna be my day. In the past 7-8 minutes, I really thought twice that I might die. But these people are gonna save us. I've still got my seat cushion, they're throwing down life jackets, so I grab a life jacket, got this little girl on my lap, and I thought, okay, Vallie, you have to calm down. I mean, you are the adult here. This child has to be scared to death. And at that point, my biggest concern was, if she and I fall back in this water, can I physically save us both? She taught me something about the bravery of children. Because she never cried, she never screamed, she never said a word. You know, the only thing she did was she chewed on my arm through my sweater. Had it not been for the immediate, effective, and collective efforts of the first responders of New York and New Jersey, we would not have had 155 survivors. Our airplane sunk in 24 minutes. And in less than 17 minutes, they had all 155 of us safely rescued. In the 3.5 minutes, which is the time from when the birds knocked out both our engines till the time we landed on the Hudson River, there was not a single one of us on board that airplane that were worried about how many unanswered emails were in our inbox, how much money was in our savings account, whether our dishwashers were unloaded or our beds were made. We were worried about the time we were going to miss with the people that we loved. In the days after the crash, I remember thinking, had it ended tragically, and my face would have been one of 154 others on the front page of the USA Today, would the Avis bus driver that took me from the rental car lot to the terminal, would he have thought of me as a kind person? Did I smile at the gate agent when she scanned my ticket and told me to have a nice flight? Was I as friendly as I could possibly be to my seatmate? And what struck me about that is as we walk through our day-to-day lives, we really have no idea who the other person is that we may have our very last interaction. I would encourage us all to live our lives being kind and empathetic towards others, take some time to stay physically fit, apply a healthy dose of perspective to all situations, and maximize, utilize, enjoy, and give the time you have left.